There's this foundational belief in our world, right? That to improve something, anything, you first have to measure it. It's the bedrock of management, of science, of progress itself. And it seems so completely rational.
But what if the very act of measuring something changes it? What if the tools we use to see a system actually start to warp that system, creating outcomes that aren't just unintended, but are the exact inverse of what we wanted in the first place?
So, it all starts with the simple, rational idea. You take a big, complex goal and you translate it into a single number, a performance indicator. Let's take a hospital. The goal is obviously to improve patient health. That's complicated. So to measure it, a simple metric gets chosen. Let's reduce the average length of a patient's stay. I mean, it makes sense. Shorter stays probably mean more efficiency, faster recovery. It seems like a logical proxy for the real goal. And what happens? The metric gets better. The number improves. Week after week, month after month, the average stay gets shorter. If you're just looking at the chart, the system is a huge success. But while this number is getting better, another number starts moving in the exact opposite direction. Emergency readmissions begin to climb. Patients are leaving the hospital faster, sure, but they're coming back sicker than before. The very indicator of success is somehow producing this deeply contradictory, disturbing result. To really understand the structure behind this failure, let's look at a much simpler physical system. All it is a channel of water flowing to a field. Its purpose is clear, direct, and singular. Irrigate the crops. That's it. You see, the metric doesn't just measure the goal. Over time, it starts to cast a shadow over that original purpose. Think about a school. The goal is to educate students, which is this incredibly complex human process. But this gets translated into a simple metric, standardized test scores. And again, on the surface, this feels like a rational way to see how things are going. And just like in the hospital, the scores start to go up. But as they do, the whole process of education starts to warp. Subjects that aren't on the test, they get pushed to the side. Teaching isn't about broad learning anymore. It narrows down to just test prep. The work has shifted from education to pure test optimization.
Okay, let's go back to our water channel. To measure how well it's doing, someone puts a stick in the water. The water height on that stick is now the official stand-in for the system's success.
Now, someone on the ground makes a perfectly rational, local decision. To make the water level look a little higher on the stick, they place a small stone on the bottom of the channel, right next to the stick. It's a simple, clever way to make the reading look better. And you know what? It works. The measurement shows success. The number on the stick is higher. The system, according to the metric, is performing better than ever. And this right here is a critical turning point. The focus of the work isn't about the original task anymore. It's not about healing or educating or irrigating. The focus is now just about satisfying the metric.
There's a name for this phenomenon. It's called surrogation. It's when the proxy for success, the metric, gets mistaken for success itself. It's when we start treating the map as if it were the actual territory. The measurement replaces the entire mission.
So back in our water channel, that little local optimization gets repeated. If one stone worked, why not add more? Each one is a rational choice to improve the reading on the stick. But taken together, they're fundamentally changing the structure of the system, slowly constricting the actual flow of water. And the final outcome is a total inversion of reality. The stick is reading higher than it ever has, the metric is screaming peak performance, but downstream, starved of water, the field withers and dies. The indicator of success has become completely and disastrously detached from the system's real purpose.
The inversion is complete when the system's entire function becomes about serving the measurement. The original purpose, it's just gone.
And you see this pattern play out everywhere. In science, the number of citations a paper gets can become more important than the quality of the discovery itself. In business, hitting quarterly earnings targets can completely override the long-term health of the company. The underlying structure is exactly the same.
This structural pressure is so predictable, it even has a name. The economist Charles Goodhart put it bluntly. When a measure becomes a target, it ceases to be a good measure. The very act of targeting it for control breaks it as an indicator.
And the social scientist Donald Campbell saw the same thing. The really crucial point they both made is this corruption, it isn't a mistake, it isn't a flaw. It's a perfectly predictable, totally rational response to the incentive that the measurement itself creates.
Eventually, the system gets locked into the state, where the damage is structural, and trying to reverse it becomes almost impossible, because the entire system has literally been reshaped around a false goal.
The water channel, now choked with stones, is incredibly fragile. It can't handle a sudden storm or a rush of water. It's been optimized for one single false reading, and in the process, it's lost all of its resilience. Its physical structure is now a monument to a corrupted goal.
And this brings us to the final, really unsettling realization. Throughout this whole process of decay, from the hospital to the school to the water channel, the system was never actually failing. It wasn't broken.
It was succeeding perfectly at the new goal it was given, to make the number on a stick go up. The tragedy isn't that the system failed. The tragedy is that it did exactly what we asked it to do.